My love has come along. My lonely days are over. And life is like a song. Oh, yeah, yeah, at last. The skies above. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, you smiled, you smiled. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at last.
Oh, I thought it was going to not work. I was really worried because in my little side thing, I can see it. Anyway, how are you? Happy New Year's Eve. Last year was the year of the TERF, and I think as far as turfiness goes, I think we did pretty well. I am going to bore you senseless with more about New Zealand. Because that was kind of the biggest that was the biggest thing that happened this year. And since we did that, just phenomenal things have happened in that part of the world. And so happy New Year to all of you down in New Zealand and Australia. Might be a bit late for you, but here we are. Anyway, I feel like an ice queen. I've got new lights. Or rather a new color. I'm going to talk about a number of things because I feel like I've got a little bit to get off my chest just before the year ends. And I'm going to start with, look, back in 2015 when I peaked, things were better than they are now. Let's just say that. And I really do understand that when you're a bit late to the party, you have no idea that what you're asking for might seem like a lot, but it isn't. Most people aren't even asking for the rights that we have at the moment to be upheld. Some people are asking for a little bit less than that. Personally, I'm asking for 2003 back. That's what I want. In fact, probably before 2003, before we ever thought it was even acceptable to have a conversation that included men in women's spaces. So I just want to say, just be careful what you wish for. I always say that the most you're ever going to get is what you ask for. So if you're not asking for very much, ladies, not very much is exactly what you're going to get. There's something called the Terfys, which a Canadian woman does. And she asked for all these votes. And do you know what you voted for this year, women? You voted for a woman that is happy with the GRA as your TERF, as the woman you most admire, the woman you most think in 2023 deserved the accolade of TERF of the Year. Sex realist, I think she called it. TERF of the Year. That person you chose is a woman in a position of power who uses it to say that she's pleased with the way things are. She's pleased that she's made it more affordable and easier for men to legally become women and then have legal rights into your spaces. I mean, really? Really? I'm just so like, if we don't want all men out of our spaces, if we don't want to completely repeal the GRA, what the fuck are we all doing? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why so many people are so happy with finishing the race at 65 meters with another 35 to go and just celebrating a victory. No, that isn't what we want. And activism can go so far and campaigning can go so far. And then actually we need to put our big girl pants on and say, well, actually, we'll be in the conversations. We're not going to ask people in the conversation to speak for us. We're going to be in the damn conversations. We're going to be using that word no. We're going to be making sure that when the question is asked, oh, should we let Tina, 6'5" with a penis, in women's spaces? We're going to ensure that we are one of the women in that conversation saying, get to, as they say in Scotland, get to fuck, I think they say. I mean, it seems like a good year. Right. So the vote was on Twitter. And so that was the vote. Anyway, I've got something pressing on my eye. So that was the vote. And I was really annoyed. I just thought, I get it. I get it for some people that have come really late, even people that sort of claim some sort of status in this. I totally understand that you might not know what's possible. You might think it's only possible just to stop the biggest perverts or rapists in female jails. Maybe that's your wish list and it's all ticked off and you're happy with that. Maybe you think that actually the nice ones can come in. Maybe you think that. Maybe you have no idea that there was a time before when no men were allowed in women's bloody spaces. And that's the time that I want. I'm not happy with any other time. I'm happy with 1990s, before we started talking about this crap. I'm happy before the Yoga Carter principles. I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the half-assed kind of solutions that some people have come up with. Like, I don't want short birth certificates to pretend that men are women. I don't want anybody to ever use preferred pronouns in an official capacity. I don't want crappy the word gender in any of our laws. I don't want that. I don't think we should have to accept it. I don't want it. I'm a little bit tired with people, don't police people's language. Police people's language, ladies. Women that seek to speak for you, women that speak in public, police their bloody language. Tell them that it's not okay to say trans woman for a man, or she for a man, or her for a man, or some vague attempt at they for a man because you're too frightened to say he for a man. Do police language. Do expect more from women, and especially expect more from those that profess to speak for us. Men are male-bodied. The only male-bodied adults in this bloody world are men. They are men, not male-bodied, not male puberty. No, men and boys. That's who we're talking about. It's not good enough to try and obscure what we are talking about. If you don't use the word men for men, you obscure so many things. If you use different pronouns for men, you cease to be able to use a shorthand language, really quick firing language that fires all sorts of different things in a female brain. He's coming to pick you up is so very different than she will pick you up. Wait outside of the supermarket at 9:00 at night. He will collect you. He will be in his car. She will be in her car. It's totally, totally different. The person coming to your mother's house to help her undress at night, she will be there at 9:00. It's a totally different There's a totally different set of things go off in our head than he. Don't let people shame you into thinking that it's all right. Don't let people tell you, "Oh, at least Kemi Badenoch, at least, she is in parliament. At least she's saying something." Yeah, what? What is she saying? Really? Is she the face of Conservatives that we're supposed to think is gonna make a difference in this country before the next election? Are you serious? It's just not good enough for me. And it really, really shouldn't be good enough for you. And if it's not good enough for you, which I damn well hope it isn't, if it's not good enough for you, then you have to put yourself forward. The way we are heading in this little part of activism, the truthful bit, the bit that doesn't ask you to compromise. I'm sure there are other organizations that do this. I just can't think of one. And I don't mean to be divisive. I mean to be really, really not divisive. I mean to keep ensuring that women are front and center. It's not the polite face of activism that we do here. We don't do pretend campaigning where we're just shoring ourselves up for the next phase. We don't do that. We are asking the world to bend to our whim. And our whim is our needs. And our needs are your needs. And your daughter's needs. And your mother's needs. And your auntie's needs. And any girl you've ever cared about. Her needs. They're not my needs. I don't need for politicians. I don't need to even be invited to Christmas parties. And I did, by the way, just in case anyone misconstrues, Maya was very gracious and invited me to her wonderful party. I just couldn't make it. So just in case. I don't get invited. I'm not included. And why? Is it because I don't compromise? Is it because my voice is your voice? So I've had an incredible year. Really, really incredible year. We managed to convince one of the most powerful media people in the United States of America, Megyn Kelly. I managed to convince Megyn Kelly, with your help, with our New Zealand trip. I talked to Megyn Kelly. So, without you being the billboard here and across the world, I never would have made it to New Zealand. Without the incredible voices of the women in New Zealand, I never would have known to go to New Zealand. And New Zealand was one of the first international stories I ever heard, which was about a girl who was suspended from school because a boy was in the changing rooms and he got really, really pissed off that this girl decided to use a changing room instead of dancing and shouting and pretending to have semi-naked play fights with this boy in the changing rooms. And she got suspended. And that was about 2015, 2016. And because of that, because of the voices of women in New Zealand, and because of the support of all of you who were the billboard and supported this organization through purchasing and wearing of our merchandise, I was able to go to New Zealand. And then because of that, because of the idiocy of the TRAs, Megyn Kelly interviewed me. And in that interview, I told her that women looked up to her and she should use correct pronouns for people. And I convinced her to do that. And then it opened a floodgates of people that she interviewed. But I'm really proud that that's something that I did. And how did that happen? By just speaking the truth. By not worrying whether or not after that, as I was doing it, I was thinking, well, after this, Megyn Kelly might never have me on again. She might think I'm really rude and terrible. But I get this one opportunity to tell this very powerful, incredible woman, courageous woman, who never pulls punches. And on this, I'd been really surprised. And I thought, I have this one chance to tell Megyn Kelly that it would really make a difference to the women of America and the world if she just used correct language on this. She just had courage on this. And oh my goodness, she took that advice really well. And I'm utterly delighted to play a part in that. But none of that happens without you. And without you, there would be no Let Women Speak. There would be no women all over the world giving these courageous speeches. And none of that would happen without the stewards. Now, the stewards come sometimes they've met me all over the world. They came to Geneva and Austria and Ireland and Northern Ireland and all over the country, and they are such an eclectic, wonderful mix of women. Just you just you have to come just to have a look and just see who they are and see the age range and the social class range and the race range and the culture range and just the political view range. And the camaraderie is just phenomenal. And I get just crazy at the end of these wonderful moments where we listen to these women speak, and then everyone packs up, and then we go somewhere like a pub, and they're all around, and they're laughing and they're joking, and it's just a wonderful collection of women. And I'm really pleased that Let Women Speak and this whole mess actually has helped women connect with each other again because we're women. No other reason. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that would draw these women to being sort of in a group together, but the fact that they are women. And it's pretty wonderful. If you haven't come to a Let Women Speak, I implore you to come because it's a phenomenal uh, thing. One of our stewards said that coming to Let Women Speak is like it's like a pilgrimage. You really don't. You kind of feel a bit apprehensive about coming, but after you've been, especially if you speak, but even if you just listen, even if it's all of your courage to get on a train or a bus, walk across Hyde Park or wherever it is that we're speaking, and you see the sort of crowd, and you don't know before you go whether anyone's even going to be there. And you don't know that you're going to meet friendly people. And then within moments, you're part of a very large, warm, friendly group of women and men. But it is quite wonderful, I must say. It's extraordinary what we do with Let Women Speak. But my biggest event this year was New Zealand. And there are plenty of New Zealands around the world. There's plenty of woke places. I'm going to try and go to Canada again this year. I will be coming to America on numerous occasions. We will be going to Germany. I'm going to try and do a little tour of Europe, maybe over a week. So perhaps the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, France, Italy, and Spain are all countries that I've yet to do and I would love to do. Um, and it's not always for us, it's not always about the number of people that can come because we know that women in other countries who don't have this regular outdoor meetup feel very, very apprehensive about coming. But what we learned in Australia in Australia was phenomenal and New Zealand. But what we learned in Austria and Geneva that, we can really make a difference. There are some changes afoot in Switzerland also. Um, and obviously the UN needs to just disappear. So I would love to come to Sweden. I think I'll be the shortest person in Sweden, but I would love to come to Sweden. Um, so I just want to play for you again um, what happened in New Zealand. And while you watch this, I want you to remember that prior to me arriving there were high court cases about high court cases trying to stop me getting in. I'd been defamed on every single news channel. I'd had somebody slip a note under my door in my hotel. My hotel got cancelled. The police went and told the hotel where I was. I'd had armed escorts in airports in Australia prior to landing in New Zealand. And so when the New Zealand police sort of offered to help and for me to tell them everywhere I was going, I was delighted because I thought they were going to give me safe passage through their country, and they didn't. But this is the power of Let Women Speak. And since this, New Zealand has elected a different government. Their focus very much is getting this absolute rubbish out of schools. And I think that we had a very, very big part to play in all of that. So the purpose of Let Women Speak today is going to very much be about showing what happens when women speak. I've genuinely never felt so unsafe in my life, ever.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Excuse me. Go.
Security.
Okay. Oh my god. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Just get us to a police station, it'll be fine.
I thought they were going to crush us to death. Oh my god.
Mad, isn't it? Totally mad. Mad. And to think, just don't want men in women's spaces. I just don't want children to be mutilated. We just wanted to let women speak. But thank you to the mob that turned out. Because it was your behavior that meant that I spoke to Meg and Kelly and Jordan Peterson. And my name was already quite firmly on the map, but you helped it go international, proper viral. And it was the first time actually I was able to capitalize-ish, although I am blocked everywhere. But I've had so many viral moments over the last 5 years, and because I'm just excruciatingly just blocked everywhere, it's very, very difficult to get my message out. And yet here we are, all of you. So I'd love you to continue being the billboard. It really does make a difference. It means that I can do all the things that I do. It means I get to go to the countries and I get to facilitate spaces and creating spaces where women can speak, women that feel that they are desperate, isolated, just feel that nobody is listening. And even when they do, that they are totally castigated as evil human beings for saying the things that we all know, the things that we all said with ease before 2015. That no, of course, men can't come in women's spaces. Of course, a man shoving his putrid, drug-induced breast into a baby's mouth is perverse, revolting, disgusting, needs to be taken down a dark alley kind of stuff. You know, that sort of stuff that we said. Can you imagine 5 years ago someone saying, oh, that bloke is pretending to breastfeed a child, putting his fake breast in a baby's mouth, and people not talking about some sort of state-funded capital punishment? Like, really? This is where we are. I want you to be loud this year. This is the year of the woman. I want you to be as loud as hell, because the party of women is coming. We are going to make a difference to elections, not just here in the UK, but women will decide the election in the United States of America. You are going to have to decide what is more important to you, the existential existence of women or something else, because that's where we are now. That's why the party of women is going to push itself into local and national governments and then international governments. We're going to be everywhere where decisions are going to be made. That is what we're doing. We are next level now. We are not asking for a seat at the table. We are the bloody table. We are not asking, we're not whispering in the ears of those in power. We are going to take the power. That's how this works. You know, there are many campaign groups and activist groups and so on. But what we've done here at Let Women Speak is we have put some very fertile soil in some very barren land. And we are now going to sow the seeds of power, and we are going to grow mighty. That is what's going to happen this year. And be prepared. And I know there's loads of you in the chat who can do this. Like, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Like, seriously, who else? Like, when you look around you, when you think about you, when you think about the things that you can say, that you can do, the things that you have faced, the things that you have conquered, the courage that you have, the bravery that you've shown, who else could do that? Who else do you know around you who could excel at your life like you do? Who else around you has the mouth and the audacity to use it like you do? Who else? If you look around and there's no one that can do it better, then it's got to be you. It's got to be you. I'm very, very excited. 2024 is going to be phenomenal. And it is going to be us, women. It is going to be us. It's definitely going to be me. 2024 is going to be my year. It's going to be the year when all of those chicks come home to roost. Because I am damn sure that since 2015, knowing about this issue, this is the year we get it done. No more asking, no more waiting, no more hoping, no more pinning champion bloody first place on women that are just willing to compromise. Why would you do that? Ask for someone who asks for what you would ask for. Seriously. Ask for it. Don't ask for it. Don't pin your hopes on women that are willing to call men trans women, that are willing to be part of a government or a movement who refuses to say repeal the GRA. Like, if you're still pinning your hopes on someone that hasn't even talked about repealing the GRA, like, really, just come on. Enough. At last, I want to say a very big thank you to Iris and Joe and Selene and Laura and Mary and the stewards and the regulars at Let Women Speak, to all you women who spoke, all of you who attended, and to you lucky people who get through to TERF Talk on a Tuesday. You have made 2023 the most exciting year. And 2024 has a lot to live up to, but I'm damn sure it's going to be better. If you can come to a Let Women Speak, if you can help us ensure that Let Women Speak keeps going by being the billboard, and my, I have some wonderful new stickers coming in the next week or so, and I have the product. I think it's going to be the best thing I've ever sold. I think all of you are going to buy them. There's a little clue. It's going to be phenomenal. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you can. Oh, and a special mention to Julia with the wonderful signs. If you can come along to a Let Women Speak and help a woman tell her story, then I promise we will win. If you can be the billboard, create conversations, and help us create more spaces in which women can speak, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose.